The Grand Hall of the Galactic Federation buzzed with tension. Delegates from countless species filled the majestic chamber, their voices a cacophony of concern and fear. The high ceiling of the hall was adorned with holographic star maps, depicting the territories of the Federation and beyond. High Chancellor Zorith, an imposing reptilian figure with an air of authority, called the meeting to order. Order, please. We must address the recent actions of humanity. Zorith's voice boomed through the chamber, silencing the delegates. Their latest military engagement has once again shown their unpredictable and devastating capabilities. Nathan Harding, the British-Canadian representative, stood up. A man in his late 40s with graying hair and a sharp, intelligent gaze. He exuded confidence and determination. Chancellor, the actions of humanity were in defense of our colonies. We seek peace but are prepared to protect ourselves when threatened. The holographic displays shifted, showing scenes of human victories. Alien species, some with scales, others with feathers, murmured amongst themselves, recalling the swift and strategic manner in which humans had overcome their adversaries. We all witnessed the outcome, said Ambassador Keela, a wise and empathetic alien with luminescent skin. Humanity's methods are indeed formidable. But should we not strive to understand them rather than fear them? Understanding them is precisely why we need this law, retorted a delegate from the insectoid Korash. Their tactical ingenuity is a threat to the stability of our Federation. If we continue to engage them in warfare, the consequences could be dire. Nathan clenched his fists, his mind racing through the various campaigns he had led. He knew that humanity's rise had been meteoric, fueled by necessity and innovation. But he also understood the fear they instilled in others. He took a deep breath and addressed the assembly. Humanity has always sought to coexist peacefully with other species. Our advancements in military strategy and technology are not for conquest, but for survival. We stand ready to collaborate and share our knowledge for the greater good of the Federation. The room fell silent, the weight of Nathan's words hanging in the air. High Chancellor Zorith observed the reactions of the delegates before speaking. We will vote on the proposed law to avoid engaging humans in warfare. Cast your votes now. A holographic interface appeared before each delegate, and within moments, the results were displayed. The law passed with a narrow majority, and a murmur of mixed relief and apprehension spread through the hall. Nathan's communicator buzzed softly. He glanced at it, seeing an urgent message from Earth. Commander Harding, we have a situation. A rogue Crythax faction has attacked one of our colonies. His heart sank. The Crythax were known for their ferocity, and this attack violated the newly passed law. He knew he had to act quickly. Addressing the council once more, he spoke with urgency. Chancellor, I must return to Earth immediately. A Crythax faction has breached the law we just enacted. I request the Council's support in addressing this violation. High Chancellor Zorith nodded gravely. You have our permission, Commander Harding. Go swiftly and may you succeed in protecting your people. Nathan hurried out of the council chamber, his mind already formulating a plan. He knew this mission would require not just strength, but precise strategy and unwavering resolve. As he boarded his ship, he contacted his most trusted officers, briefing them on the situation. The Crythax were not just any adversary. They were ruthless and highly skilled. But Nathan had faced impossible odds before, and he was determined to protect the colony and uphold the law. The journey back to Earth was tense. Nathan used the time to strategize, reviewing the latest intelligence reports and mapping out potential approaches. He knew they had one chance to succeed, and failure was not an option. Upon arrival, the scene of devastation confirmed the urgency. Buildings lay in ruins, and survivors huddled in makeshift shelters. Nathan met with the local commander, assessing the damage and gathering vital information. Commander Harding, the local leader said, the Crythax hit us hard and fast. They have fortified positions, but we believe we can outmaneuver them with the right strategy. Nathan nodded, his mind already piecing together a plan. We'll use a two-pronged approach. A direct assault to draw their attention, while a smaller team infiltrates their base to capture their leader. We need to act swiftly and decisively. As he briefed his team, Nathan's confidence inspired them. They knew the risks, but they trusted his leadership and strategy. The mission would be perilous, but they were ready to face it head-on. Chapter 2. The Breach. Nathan Harding stepped off the shuttle and onto the desolate surface of the attacked colony. The air was thick with smoke, and the smell of burnt metal lingered. The settlement was a grim sight. Buildings were reduced to rubble, and survivors wandered aimlessly, their faces marked with fear and confusion. "Commander Harding," a voice called out. Nathan turned to see Lieutenant Sarah Whitaker, one of his most trusted officers, approaching him. "We've established a temporary command center. The situation is dire." Nathan nodded, following Sarah through the debris to a makeshift operations tent. Inside, a handful of officers and soldiers worked tirelessly, coordinating relief efforts and gathering intelligence. "Report," Nathan commanded as he surveyed the maps and data feeds. "The Crythax attacked with precision," Sarah began. "They hit our key infrastructure first: power, communications, defense systems. Casualties are high, but we managed to evacuate most of the civilians to the shelters." Nathan studied the maps, his mind already formulating a plan. "What about their current positions?" "They've fortified themselves in the northern sector," Sarah pointed to the map. "We've got recon drones keeping an eye on them, but their defenses are strong." Nathan turned to the rest of the team. "We need to split our forces. A frontal assault to draw their attention, while a smaller, elite team infiltrates their base to take out their leadership." His officers nodded, understanding the gravity of the situation. Nathan looked at Sarah. "You'll lead the frontal assault. Keep them occupied but stay flexible. The main goal is to create a diversion." "And you?" Sarah asked, already knowing the answer. "I'll lead the infiltration team," Nathan replied. "We'll go in under cover of night. Our objective is to capture their leader and dismantle their command structure." Preparations began immediately. Nathan handpicked his team, choosing soldiers with a mix of skills that would be crucial for the mission. As they geared up, he briefed them on the plan, emphasizing the importance of precision and stealth. The night was moonless, providing the perfect cover for their approach. Nathan and his team moved silently through the shadows, avoiding patrols and using their advanced equipment to bypass security measures. The tension was high, but each soldier knew their role and executed it flawlessly. They reached the perimeter of the Crythax stronghold, a heavily guarded facility bristling with defenses. Nathan signaled for a halt and surveyed the scene. He pointed to a narrow passage on the left side, less guarded but leading directly to the main building. "That's our entry point," he whispered. "Move quietly and watch each other's backs." They advanced, slipping past sentries and disabling security systems with practiced ease. The closer they got to the command center, the more resistance they encountered. Nathan's team engaged in brief skirmishes, using non-lethal tactics to subdue their enemies without raising an alarm. Finally, they reached the command center. Nathan signaled for his team to take positions around the entrance. He placed a small device on the door, and with a soft click, it unlocked. The team moved in swiftly, weapons at the ready. Inside, the Crythax leader and his officers were caught off guard. A brief but intense firefight ensued. Nathan's team moved with precision, disabling their opponents and securing the room. Nathan approached the leader, a formidable figure with a fierce glare. "Commander Harding," the Crythax leader sneered. "You think capturing me will change anything?" Nathan met his gaze with a steely determination. "It will. Your attack violated the law, and now you'll answer for it." As his team secured the prisoners and gathered intelligence, Nathan contacted Sarah. "We've secured the target. Begin extraction." The return journey was tense but uneventful. Back at the temporary command center, Nathan and his team were met with cheers and relief. The captured Crythax leader was handed over to the Federation authorities, and the colony began the slow process of rebuilding. Nathan stood with Sarah, looking over the devastated landscape. "We did what we had to," he said quietly. Sarah nodded. "But this isn't over, is it?" Nathan shook his head. No, the Crythax won't take this defeat lightly. We need to be ready for whatever comes next. The cool night air brushed against Nathan Harding's face as he led his team through the dense forest surrounding the Crythax stronghold. The moonless sky provided perfect cover, their shadows merging with the darkness. Every step was calculated, every breath controlled. "Stay sharp," Nathan whispered into his comm, his eyes scanning the terrain ahead. "We're approaching the first checkpoint." His team, comprised of highly skilled operatives, moved like ghosts through the underbrush. Lieutenant Sarah Whitaker was at the rear, ensuring their tracks were covered. She had proven herself time and again in both leadership and combat. They reached the edge of the forest, where the fortified walls of the Crythax base loomed ahead. Nathan signaled for a halt and pulled out a small, advanced scanner. The device emitted a soft hum as it mapped out the security systems and guard patrols. "Multiple sentries on the walls," Nathan noted. "Automated turrets along the perimeter. We'll need to disable those first." Sergeant Marcus Kane, the team's tech expert, stepped forward. "Leave it to me, Commander." He set to work, tapping into the control frequencies and methodically deactivating the turrets. Within minutes, the defenses were down. Nathan motioned for the team to move forward. They crept along the wall, finding an access point that Marcus had identified earlier. With a soft click, the door opened, and they slipped inside. The interior of the base was dimly lit, industrial in design with corridors leading in multiple directions. Nathan led the team through the labyrinthine structure, following the intel that indicated the command center's location. They encountered their first resistance in a narrow hallway. A Crythax patrol rounded the corner, and before they could react, Nathan and his team neutralized them with precision. Non-lethal rounds ensured silence, and the unconscious guards were quickly hidden. "Good work," Nathan murmured. "Let's keep moving." The command center was heavily guarded. Nathan observed the room through a small surveillance device, noting the positions of the Crythax soldiers and their leader. He formulated a quick plan, gesturing to his team. "We'll create a distraction," he explained. "Marcus, you're with me. Sarah, take the others and flank them from the opposite side. On my mark." They split up, moving to their designated positions. Nathan and Marcus set a small explosive charge at a nearby power conduit, ready to plunge the room into darkness. As the lights flickered and went out, chaos erupted in the command center. "Now," Nathan commanded. Sarah's team burst in from one side, while Nathan and Marcus took the other. In the confusion, the Crythax soldiers were quickly overpowered. Nathan focused on the leader, a tall, imposing figure who barked orders even as the room descended into disorder. The Crythax leader drew a blade, a weapon of honor among their kind, and lunged at Nathan. He sidestepped, using the momentum to his advantage, and disarmed the leader with a swift move. The blade clattered to the floor, and Nathan restrained him, forcing him to the ground. "It's over," Nathan said firmly. "You're coming with us." The leader struggled briefly before conceding, realizing the futility of resistance. Nathan secured him while Marcus gathered data from the command center's terminals. "We've got what we need," Marcus reported. "This should give us insight into their operations and future plans." Nathan nodded, contacting Sarah. "Team, fall back to the extraction point." Mission accomplished. They moved swiftly through the base, avoiding further confrontation. Outside, their shuttle awaited, and they boarded quickly, lifting off and leaving the Crythax stronghold behind. Back at the temporary command center, the atmosphere was one of cautious relief. The captured leader was handed over to the Federation authorities, and Nathan debriefed with his team. "You all did exceptionally well," Nathan commended them. "This victory will send a strong message to the Crythax and the Federation." Sarah approached him as the others dispersed. "What's our next move, Commander?" Nathan looked out over the recovering colony. "We prepare. The Crythax won't take this lightly, but for now, we've shown them the strength and resolve of humanity." Nathan Harding sat in the command center, reviewing the data his team had gathered from the Crythax stronghold. The information was invaluable, detailing not only their immediate plans but also their long-term strategies. He knew they had struck a significant blow, but the threat was far from over. "Commander," Lieutenant Sarah Whitaker interrupted his thoughts. "We've just received a transmission from the Federation. They want to discuss our next steps." Nathan nodded, standing up and heading towards the communications room. The screen lit up, revealing the familiar face of High Chancellor Zorith. "Commander Harding," Zorith began, his tone grave, "congratulations on your successful mission. However, we have a more significant issue at hand. Our intelligence indicates a larger Crythax fleet is mobilizing, potentially targeting other colonies." Nathan's expression hardened. "What are our options, Chancellor?" "We need to strike first, using the data you've obtained to dismantle their operations before they can launch an attack," Zorith replied. "I trust your team is up to the task?" Nathan nodded. "We'll be ready, but we'll need full support from the Federation to ensure success." "Consider it done," Zorith affirmed. "Good luck, Commander." As the transmission ended, Nathan turned to Sarah. "Assemble the team. We have work to do." Within hours, the team was gathered in the briefing room. Nathan outlined the plan, using the intelligence to pinpoint key Crythax bases and supply lines. The strategy was to hit multiple targets simultaneously, crippling their ability to launch a coordinated attack. "Timing is crucial," Nathan emphasized. "We'll strike at dawn. Each team has its specific objectives. We move fast, hit hard, and get out." The teams moved with precision, boarding their ships and preparing for the upcoming assault. As they approached the first target, the tension was palpable. Nathan's team, tasked with taking down a major supply depot, descended silently, using the cover of early morning shadows. The base was bustling with activity, Crythax soldiers and workers moving about unaware of the impending strike. Nathan signaled his team to spread out, each member taking up their positions. They moved in synchronization, disabling security systems and clearing a path to the central control hub. "On my mark," Nathan whispered into his calm 3, 2, 1, go. Explosions rocked the depot as the team executed their plan with military precision. Nathan led the charge, cutting through enemy lines and reaching the control center. The Crythax commander, caught off guard, tried to rally his troops but was quickly subdued. "Secure the area," Nathan ordered, his voice steady. "We need to ensure they can't regroup." Meanwhile, Sarah's team was hitting another critical location, a communications hub vital for Crythax coordination. They moved with the same efficiency, neutralizing threats and dismantling the facility's operations. The combined efforts of the human teams began to sow chaos among the Crythax ranks. As the sun rose, the extent of their success became clear. Key Crythax infrastructure lay in ruins, their ability to mount an offensive severely crippled. Nathan received updates from the other teams, each reporting similar victories. "Commander," Sarah's voice came over the comm, "we've completed our objectives. The Crythax are in disarray." "Excellent work," Nathan responded. "Begin extraction. Let's get everyone back safely." The return journey was filled with a sense of accomplishment. The mission had been a resounding success, demonstrating the strength and capability of humanity's forces. Back at the command center, Nathan debriefed with his team, acknowledging their bravery and skill. "We've dealt a significant blow to the Crythax today," Nathan said, his gaze sweeping over the faces of his team. "But we must remain vigilant. This victory has bought us time, but the conflict is far from over." High Chancellor Zorith's transmission interrupted the debrief. "Commander Harding, the Federation is impressed with your success. We will be sending additional support to ensure the security of all colonies. Your leadership has been exemplary." Nathan inclined his head in acknowledgement. "Thank you, Chancellor. We will continue to defend our people and work towards a lasting peace." As the call ended, Nathan allowed himself a rare moment of reflection. The path ahead was uncertain, but with the strength of his team and the support of the Federation, he was confident they could face whatever challenges arose.